Tell Shaky and Tyler we're tough, never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
For the third time this season, the Antler Sports Network is in the Rose City, home of the Bishop Gorman Crusaders. The Amadou Gymnasium is our location today, as the 7th-ranked Bishop Gorman Crusaders are at home once more to take on the Bears of Brownsboro. Brownsboro coming into this game led by head coach Brent Smith, who we'll hear from later on in the pregame, sitting at a record of 8-6, 2-5 on the road, representing 4A Region 2 District 15. Coach Kevin Murray's Bishop Gorman Crusaders, this morning's most recent TABC state rankings, put them at 7th overall. They come in with a record of 11-3, a pretty solid 3-1 at home, out of taps for a Division 3. We'll hear from Don Fallon, the director of Tenon Hall Holiday Hoops, Coach Murray, Coach Smith, and much more in the pregame. From the ASN family of platforms, this is Crusader Basketball.
Coach, it's an old philosophy from all levels of the sport that one of the hardest things to do is to beat a team. Something even harder is to beat a team twice. You guys fell to these Gorman Crusaders not too long ago in the Get So tournament. Now you have another shot at them. So what adjustments have you made? How has your team improved? What's been touched on practice? What do you have in terms of arrows in the quiver to take on Coach Kevo and these Gorman Crusaders on the road?
Well, we do feel like we've had a good week this past week. We went 4-1 with a win at Spring Hill last Tuesday night, and then going 3-1 at the Wills Point tournament this past weekend. So we feel like we're playing our best ball of the year right now, and we're trying to keep that momentum going. Last time we played TK, they're a great team, and then we didn't play very well. I thought we gave up some easy buckets from about the second quarter on. We gave up too many straight line drives. We got beat on the boards. So tonight we just want to play better. And, we're in a pretty good groove right now. And we're just trying to get that momentum, keep the momentum going before we're going into district against Van Friday night.
A lot of young guys on this team that you're going to put them against some pretty stiff competition, especially for a pretty treacherous district road. Who are some of the young cats that you want to highlight that we need to keep a lookout for tonight?
Well, we're a senior team. Let me say that I've got two seniors that do the majority of our work. Man Scott averages about 24 points a game. Keaton Delaney's around just under 20 points a game. And then the supporting cast is, that's what we're really trying to build up is we have 4 sophomores on varsity, and we're trying to, get these guys improving week by week and just, stacking good days on top of good days. And, we've got Logan Epperson, who he's a guard, sophomore guard that comes in, gives us good minutes. Roland Reddick, sophomore guard. Lane Shaw, who's a sophomore post, who actually was on the varsity last year as a freshman. And so, we've been making improvements, and we want to keep grinding and keep getting better.
Now, going back, I don't know if you fully remember this, but the last time the Brownsboro Bears were on the Antler Sports Network, it was against Brick Hill. It was on New Year's Day of 2021. A huge buzzer beater that made the news, made the paper, you name it. Man, how has your coaching journey been since that moment? Because it seems like it's been decades, but it's only been a handful of years.
Yeah, I'll never forget that game. And, I believe you were on the call that game, and it was a great call you made by that game. Every game we've had against Brook Hill, it has been a one-possession ball game, going back about 5 years. There's 2 or 3 overtime games in there. There's 2 last-second shots. And so it's, that particular team went to the regional quarterfinals. We've had 2 playoff runs since then. We missed the playoffs by 1 game last year, and so we're looking to get back into the state playoffs this year. Right now, we're 8-7. We're in a very tough district. A lot of good teams. There's, it's a dogfight every night. There's no bad teams. There's no nights off. So, but yeah, it's just we play a lot of close games.
Now, this win tonight, if you can find a way to leg this out here on the road, what does a win here do for that higher goal of getting through that tough district?
I think it'd be absolutely huge for our confidence. This team beat us soundly last time, about a week and a half ago, by 25 points. And, we want to play better, but if we could come over here and pick up a win in their gym, which is a very tough place to play, and they're a great team. They got a lot of weapons. They shoot the ball well. They defend. They rebound. If we could come over here and get this win, it'd be huge for our confidence going into district Friday night.
Another thank you to Coach Brett Smith for the Brownsboro Bears for allowing us to have a quick little chat prior to tonight's tip-off. Jared Jones joined up by the coach, Matt Bright. He was a crowd favorite during our coverage of the Macy Schinderberg tournament, and I guess we'll decide to bring him on back. And plus, Coach, you have a lot riding on this game.
I have a lot riding. This is my hometown that we're playing against. Graduated from Brownsboro. Once a Bear, always a Bear, but now I'm a Crusader. So let's go Crew.
So you're going to be split. You have a blue and yellow shirt on one side and a green and black and white shirt on the other.
Yeah, actually, my kids are actually still going to school in Brownsboro. So,
so how about that?
Yeah.
So as we continue our pregame coverage, I also had the opportunity to speak with Gorman head coach Kevin Murray.
Coach, going against a Brownsboro team that you've already played before, many say that one of the hardest things to do in basketball is not only to beat a team once, but to beat them twice. What do you think is
to represent ourselves and our program at home?
Now, Coach, what went well? What worked out that first time you took down Brownsboro in their tournament, in their building? Went on to get second in that tournament, so it was a pretty good stretch of days. But what went well against the Browns specifically?
We was able to hit shots. When we hit shots and we're playing fast, we're able to get out in transition. We was able to slow down their best player by throwing different looks at them. But ultimately, we defended well in the half court and the full court, and we were able to make shots. Timely shots. We got on a pretty good run. But what starts and finishes with us is our defense. We were able to defend at a high level that night, and like I said, we made shots.
Now, past couple of games, you had a win against East Texas homeschool here at home against the Chargers. A game that kind of got murky for the first couple of quarters, but then in the latter half of the game, you stretched things out and ended up getting a pretty solid win. Your most recent win, a dominant win here at home against Kings Academy. 2 big wins by pretty big margins. What has it been, at least for you and the rest of the coaching staff, to keep the guys content, keep them level-headed after 2 pretty high-scoring wins?
We want to work on ourselves, so we don't look at the score. Obviously, we want to win every basketball game, but we want to continue to be the best version of ourselves, and that's just focusing on what we need to do offensively and defensively to be better. So that's our ultimate goal. Those teams that we play, they play extremely hard. But like I said, we want to hold ourselves to the standard that we have here at Gorman and just be the best version of ourselves.
Now, finally, Coach, this is really the dog days of the non-district season. You have the Wagstaff tournament, the Wagstaff Classic coming up. You have this game tonight against Brownsboro. Leading up to this point, what are some things that you are most proud of in terms of improvement in the team, and what are some things you want to continue to work on in front of a grueling district season?
We know these next, especially the holiday tournament at Wagstaff, we know that's going to be a good challenge for us. We love going there and showcasing what we can do. We use those games, of course, to end the school year or end the year, but also prepare us for district. So it's just going to be a great opportunity, a good test for whoever we get going forward right into district.
Now, follow-up question. Christmas is already here. What's on Coach Kevo's Christmas list?
Oh, man, that MetaQuest. I got to have that. I see that they got the NBA on there. they got some different sports and there's some different games on there. But that MetaQuest looked cool, so I went on and threw it on the list.
What about the rest of the family? Can you spoil what's under the tree?
I can't give you that. I can't give you that info right now. But the kids got whatever they need.
No, thank you to Coach Kevin Murray for giving us the time to speak with him. As always, we appreciate him and what his program does for the ASN. And speaking of ASN programming, myself and Coach Bright, we have a pretty big event coming up. The day after Christmas, from the 26th, pretty much to the entire weekend, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, tournament in the state of Texas, the 15th annual Tenaha Holiday Hoops Tournament. A DP Texas staple, bound to be an ASN staple as well. I had a chance prior to tip-off to talk about the boys' side of the bracket with the guy who runs the darn thing. And for all that stirs the drink for the Tenaha Holiday Hoops Tournament in its 15th rendition, the Don himself, Donna Fallon. Happy to have you with us. And I don't know about you, but looking at this field, looking at how the season has transpired, looking at rankings, the brackets get confirmed, dates get moved around. I'm excited. I know you've put a lot of work into this thing. How excited are you? Is the anticipation finally kind of settling in as we're just about a couple of weeks away from tip-off?
Yeah, we're getting really close. We sent out the final bracket this morning to all of the teams that are coming, the 32 teams. This probably the 15th edition will probably be the strongest field we've ever had at the Tenaha Holiday Hoops. That was started back in 2009. Scott Tyner, who's now superintendent at Martinsville, and myself put it together after we built the new buildings. And it's really surprises how this has grown, how receptive teams are to travel sometimes 300-400 miles to come play in this tournament. It's stronger to me than a lot of the regional tournaments in 1 through 3A, and only 1, 2, and 3A teams can come to this tournament, Jerry. What's crazy this morning when the rankings came out, we're sitting here with the number 1 and number 2 teams on the boys' side in Class 3A. In the 2A, it's even more phenomenal that we have the number 1 in Martinsville, number 2 in Lipan, and number 3 in Shelbyville, followed by 8, 13, and 20, that being Timpson, Thorndale, and San Augustine. So, yeah, we're excited. I haven't even talked about the girls' side yet. We have about 9 to 10 ranked teams in the girls' side and 10 teams ranked in the boys' side in the top 25 of the state. So, yeah, it's going to be unbelievable.
Let's talk to the boys' side first, and we'll get to the girls' side of the bracket in a moment. And the boys' side, you already talked about some of the powers. You talked about Martins Mill, Coons, Tenaha, Timpson, Tatum. You mean, you name it. If it's within that 1 to 3A classification and they have been at the top 25, they're there. It's arguably the most prestigious tournament in not just East Texas, but in the state, pound for pound. And you set up the brackets to where those matchups can occur. So can you kind of give us a little bit of a look into your method and the seeding and all the back end stuff that goes into making sure that this tournament is the best that it can be, no matter what side or what part of the bracket you look at?
Yeah, 3 years ago, I started a seeding committee for this tournament. I wanted the coaches and some administrators who know basketball, I wanted them to be a part of getting this tournament seeded. It has always been seeded, but the first 12 years it was seeded by either myself, Mr. Tyner, Mr. Jenkins, who was the head boys coach at the time, Coach Gary Davison, who's now at Saltillo. They seeded there. And now we've gone to where we allow the coaches that are coming to help seed this to get it right. We want the best teams moving down the bracket as they go per the seed, so that when you get to those quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, you're seeing the best matchups in the state of Texas for those three classifications. So we are constantly looking at that bracket and making sure that the seeding is done correctly.
I mean, just looking on the boys' bracket of the first-round matchups, at the top we have Sabine and Kuntz at 3:30 at Tiger Gym. In the very next game, right below it, is going to be, as we've talked, prior to this discussion off air, it's going to be a grudge match. Tenaha and St. Augustine at the SEC, a late night game on a Thursday. It's going to be rocking in the SEC. And if you go even further down, before that, 5:15 at the SEC, it's Timpson and Tatum. In the most recent rankings, Timpson, I believe, is the number 2 team in the state, and Timpson is the Tenaha. No, not Tenaha, excuse me. Too many T's to try to keep them aligned. Tatum got the number 2 spot in the recent TABC rankings for 2A, and Timpson is cracking the top 25 as well. So that's a matchup that many would think are championship worthy. That's happened in the first round. I mean, just going from team to team, it's a lot of matchups that reek of regional tournament feel, but we're getting it casually on a Thursday. I mean, that's just spectacular.
Well, D. Lewis, the head basketball coach for the boys at Tenaha, came up with this idea. He knew that we couldn't start because it starts the day after Christmas, and that's making you've got to get to Tenaha or Panola College or Timpson, where we the new event center there, and our Tiger Gym to be able to start. Well, we backed it up to 12:30. And we said, okay, we've got to draw a crowd this first day, and we don't have as many games as normal. What do we do? So he said, why don't we do a Shelby County night, which Tenaha is located in Shelby County, along with Timpson, along with Shelbyville. And he said, let's put together that night, and we'll draw the crowd from Shelby County while all the other people who are coming in from all across the state to support their teams, in case they get there Thursday night and just watch 2 days of the tournament. Well, when we put this together, now you have the number 2 Tatum versus Timpson, who's a number 8, and then you have Tenaha and St. Augustine. Tenaha is sitting there at 12-4. St. Augustine's rated number 20, and then the nightcap, you get the number 3 2A Shelbyville versus the number 4 1A Brooklyn. What a great night to watch 3 straight basketball games in one facility.
All those games, of course, on the ASN family of platforms. Go to antlersn.com/holiday hoops for an updated list. Now, Coach, you've seen a lot of basketball on the boys and girls side. Who are some of the boys teams that you're thinking they could possibly come into this thing and make some noise and maybe even shock a couple of top-ranked teams?
Well, I travel a lot in the month of November and December to get my eyes on these teams. We want to make the seedings very fair, and those coaches, when they seed, they help. But it helps to be able to watch teams play in person, number 1, or 2, grab a huddle film and take a look at a team just to make sure they're everything people are saying they are. Because the seedings are going to change, or the rankings in the state are going to change as we go through the season. But what will really happen at this tournament, when this tournament is over with, you will have a real feel of, are these rankings correct in the state of Texas? Because these are some of the best teams that you will find in the 1, 2, 3A division.
So
I want to go a little bit further, if I could, Jared. You asked about the boys, what I saw. I've seen Kuntz's Lipan. This may be when Kuntz has never missed the Tenaha Holiday Hoops Classic, and when they first started, they were kind of a showcase, the donks and all of that. What I saw in this team, maybe one of the best fundamental teams I had ever seen out of Coach Jubert, who's been there all these years and always produces a great boys team. But Kuntz is something to watch. They hustle. They never say a word, but they do their job, and there's some great talent there. Again, Lipan won state last year. They beat Shelbyville. Guess what? They're number 2 and 3. I have not seen Shelbyville, but they just won the Gary tournament. So, and they beat Jefferson and Gary, who we know have good teams this year. But I haven't seen Tatum. But they went down to Central Heights over the weekend, and they beat Palestine Westwood, which has a great team. And they also beat the number 1 team in the state, 3A, Hitchcock. So you're about to see unbelievable some of the best teams that you could see in boys 1 through 3A.
So if you look at some of the history of the tournament and some of the past champions, Coons, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess you can say, rings at Holiday Hoops. So would you say that pound for pound, they are the ultimate program to beat because they're solid on the girls' side, they're solid on the boys' side? Are they the top dog, or do you think it's a much tighter race than some people might think?
Oh, I think it's going to be a tighter race. I mean, there's a reason Martin Mill is 15-0 and really hasn't been challenged. Yeah, they had a close game with Commerce in their finals the other night, but you have to understand that they had a boy. Martin Mill had a boy out, one of their starters. Plus, the second time they played Commerce, and they'd already beaten Commerce by double digits. And I'm going to tell you, Tatum is going to be there. You don't do what they just did this weekend and rank number 2 in the state. But I'm going to tell you, and a team we're not talking about is Mount Pleasant Chapel Hill.
Yep.
Out of that team, I watched at the Brownsboro tournament, and they're the best passing team by far of anybody that I have watched so far. And, you know, they've gone, they have a new coach, originally from Ponder, and his son. They came over and took the reins there after Coach Schmidt left and went to his hometown of Broadus. Those are the 4 I think are going to be the ones you need to watch. But also remember, Shelbyville still has 2 starters not playing, and they are very good starters who are not playing. So I'm going to say, you've heard me say 4 to 5 teams. That's how deep this tournament is.
Now, finally, Coach, who do you think is arguably the biggest dark horse? We've already talked about the favorites, some of the heavy hitters. Who do you think is that one team that could mess around and sneak into the field and possibly get to an early Saturday game?
Well, that's a good one because I think we have them seeded very well.
You do.
Watch the 1A Brooklyn. I really think that team can win state in 1A boys. I think they'll get to the state championship. The coach at Brooklyn has challenged his players. They're playing, big name 2 and 3A teams to get them ready. But watch the Brooklyn, and you'll see them that 8:15 game on Thursday night against Shelbyville. I think they'll tell you, do they have a shot at winning the state championship in 1A boys?
All right, Coach, you just heard it straight from the horse's mouth, the guy that runs the show that's put this fantastic event together. That concludes our first discussion. We'll have more from the Don at the half. Our coverage of Bishop Gorman Crusader basketball continues after this timeout.
Give it everything at Pelche Kia and Tyler. We're tough, never quits.
When my Marco's craving hits, it really hits. And with unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, I can cover tonight's cravings and tomorrow's. Nice. Marco's. Pizza lovers, get it. Feast your eyes on Marco's Pepperoni Magnifico. Fresh dough made daily, topped with our signature sauce. 3 real cheeses, classic pepperoni, plus crispy cupped Old World pepperoni. Pure pepperoni perfection for just $9.99, but for a limited time only.
I will not break a sweat when I take the stairs.
I will not break a sweat when I take the stairs.
I will dunk on the hoop over my garage.
I will dunk on the hoop over my garage.
I will insist it's regulation height even though it's definitely not.
I will insist it's regulation height even though it's definitely not.
I will be able to open the jar of pickles.
I don't like pickles.
What about kosher dill?
No.
Half sour?
Ew.
Full sour?
No.
You like cucumbers?
Oh, yeah.
That's a pre-pickle. Let's go. Oh, excellent.
Jared Jones, Matthew Bright, happy to be courtside at CM at our gymnasium. Gorman, Brownsboro tips off in just a couple of moments. While we have a moment, let's go ahead and introduce our starting lineups. First, for the visiting Brownsboro Bears, it's going to be Gabe Hendricks, the 5'10 junior at the 1 spot. Jacob Fulham, junior at the 2. Keaton Delaney at the 3. Dancing right at the 4, the junior, and at the 5 spot down in the middle, number 15, Man Scott, the senior. And for the hosting Bishop Gorman Crusaders, led by head coach Kevin Murray, you'll see a new name, or a name that we really haven't seen if you've tuned into our coverage of Crusader basketball this season. Bo Bender, the junior, is back healthy and into the starting lineup. He'll be at the 1 spot. The junior, Jalen Miles, at the 2. Garland Ifedi at the 4. Ryan Richburg at the pseudo forward spot. And EJ Kopik at the 4 spot with Ifedi at the 5 spot manning the middle. That's a look at our starting lineups. We'll have tip-off right after this from the ASN family of platforms. This is Crusader basketball. Seconds left. 2, 1, and a foul is called. Reach and foul called. Gonna be called on Brookings number 3, Colton Carlson. That's his 3rd personal foul, 16th foul. Jacob Hobson might be inbounding. They switch it. Michael Fitzgerald will be the inbounder. 1.6 seconds left. Turns around, fires for 3. It's good. It's good. The shot's good. The shot's good. The shot is in. Lane Epperson knocks it down. Lane Epperson knocks down the 3-point jumper. Brownsboro wins. Brownsboro wins. 30-28 on a game-winning 3. This is what high school basketball is all about. What a way to say goodbye to 2021 with a buzzer beater. Lane Epperson's name was called, and he delivered. starting lineups getting introduced here at CMNI Gymnasium. Jerry Jones, Coach Matt Bright, happy to be with you. This game is a bit of a historic matchup, although Brownsboro has fallen in their previous meeting against Bishop Gorman. The Bears do have the historical advantage. Since 2005, the Bears hold the all-time head-to-head with 8 wins to Bishop Gorman's 2. Bishop Gorman, of course, did win the last matchup, that game being the Great East Texas Shootout semifinal, that final being 65-38. Prior to that Bishop Gorman win in Getso, Brownsboro's won the past 3 meetings. But Coach, you're a baseball guy. You've been across sports for years for both Gorman and Brownsboro, and you know better than anybody that it's hard to beat a team once. It's even harder to beat a team twice.
It is. Like I said, being from Brownsboro, growing up, I know Coach Smith. I played baseball with Coach Smith, from Brownsboro. He did tell me this is by far the best Gorman team he's seen.
So Gorman, that same Gorman team, the hosting team, of course, tonight, they're in their all-white tops and bottoms, Nike branded, Gorman in Nike script across the front chest. Green numerals with a black outline. For Brownsboro, the visiting team, Nike blue tops and bottoms with gold and white trimming across the shirts and shorts. Brownsboro, similar script across the chest in gold. Similar design for the lettering in numeral gold with a white trim. Whether it's Bone Bender recently in the starting lineup, gets it to Miles. Miles takes an elbow pull-up jumper. Nobody home. Well off, out of bounds. We play 15 seconds. 7:44 left to go to the first. And a quick shot already for Bishop Gorman. We know that the Crusaders like to play fast, but if you're Brownsboro, you want to slow them down, force as many bad shots as possible, especially if you're going to go on offense to see this full-court pressure.
And Brownsboro's going to run. They're going to run a slow offense, very methodical, where Coach Brent wants to run it.
Quick jumper is good by man Scott. We heard from Coach Smith how important Scott is to this offense, averaging about almost knocking on the door at 25 points a contest, and he's got 2 quick ones there. Looking to respond now are these Crusaders. Bender still on 3 of the corners, no good. Strong box out by Keaton Delaney, the 6'3 senior forward. And it's going to be Bears basketball. Him and Afidi battle for it on the far side, or at least the close side under the basket, but Brownsboro does get possession. With it is Scott. Just score on that previous possession. This Brownsboro team averaging 63 points a contest, allowing 58. Last time they got a win on the road, not too long ago, 6 days ago to be exact, on the 10th of this month, a 69-65 slobber knocker against the Panthers of Longview Spring Hill. 6:54 left to go, and an offensive foul is going to be called. That one's going to be charged against Delaney. That's the senior's team's first of the quarter. And if you're BG, still in the early going, but right now you're not very happy with how your offense is going.
No, they're sloppy right now. You can tell they're sloppy. But they'll get going.
Here's Kopic, swings to Richburg. Line drive 3. Kicks off the backboard and no good. Bender comes down with the offensive rebound, though. Before his injury, he and Richburg were tied for most offensive rebounds a game per Crusader at about 3.5 a game. Great save by Kopic. Gets it to Richburg, who kills his dribble, directing traffic. Lead bounce pass to Miles. 6 minutes, 25 seconds and counting. Miles on the drive along the left side. Layup high on the layup.
Get to drive the lane. Good job by Miles right there, driving the lane, trying to cause the foul.
Well, when Miles gets too far to that second level, at that point, all you can really do is foul. Even though he's smaller in stature than most of the Brownsboro forwards, he still has the ability to make plays like that.
This is what they have to do.
And then Richburg gets it swatted on the follow is like Phoebe on the 2. Chase down block still doesn't matter. Gorman finds a way to get on the board, and now they're up 2. Great plays from both teams so far. But now, Coach, I don't know about you, but I don't know who really gave the momentum swing too early.
Well, both teams are pushing the ball up the floor. On the block, that was Jacob Fulgham there. I coached Jacob when he played little dribblers basketball. I knew what he can do.
See him on that far side. Man fires another long 2. Scott, no good. Rebound by Kopic. Kopic up to Bender. Bender, no numbers. 2 on 3. He gets it back off of the feed. Kopic backing forward with a hand. Hand up to Richburg. Richburg turns the corner. Great drive. Instead is going to have to settle for it going out of bounds. It's going to be Crusader basketball. We hear Coach Murray to our left asking Richburg to lay the ball up, but I don't know, at least from this angle, looked like he might have got that swatted if he did.
No, that's 2 times in a row he's coming around with the wraparound pass.
It looks like it's going to be an offensive foul or loose ball foul, and it is. That one charged to Kopic. That'll be his team first of the quarter. And that's yet another empty possession for Gorman that began with great promise. 5:23 left in the first. Now with it is Scott. Scott guarded by Richburg. Now immediately blitzed by Kopic. spins, half spin. It's a great baseball pass to Delaney. Delaney doubled. Falling on the forefoot is Bender, and a travel is going to be called as he did spin. Don't think anyone tried to call a timeout. No, looks like a far side official has a foul call to be made. Or
No, he got timeout, White. He got the timeout.
we had Coach Scott calling a timeout. We had Coach Murray calling a timeout. It looks like they're going to give it to the crew, it appears to be, and we'll take it with them. Back in 30 seconds, 5:11 left to go in the first. It's 4-2 BG on the Sports Network.
Give it everything. At Pelche Key and Tyler, we're tough, never quits.
After the timeout dispute, Coach Kevin Murray, according to the officials, did get the timeout off, so he'll be sitting with 4 more remaining. That's his first 30-second timeout. Now coming the other way are the Crusaders. Richburg to Ifeedi, 5 minutes and counting left. Miles catches it after getting a contested pull-up jumper, nothing but nylon, and that's that jump shot that Miles loves to take. Right there at the charity stripe, and it's money already. 4:15, rolling now. Scott right down Main Street into the mayor's office. No appointment needed, coast to coast for 2. That is a lanky cat. I mean, standing at 6 foot, about 2-3 inches tall, streaking up the floor. Miles takes a screen. He'll pull up a 3-point jump shot. No good. Bender had the initial box out, didn't turn around quick enough, so it'll be Brownsboro basketball. Finding themselves down 2.
Scott's grandfather actually played pro football for the New York Giants back in the 50s. And I played football with his daddy, Joseph Scott. So, yeah, I have a few Brownsboro connections over there.
Just a few. We're not even in the first quarter, and you mentioned about 5. 4:15 and counting. They get it down low on the block to Delaney. He falls away. Layup's no good. Contested by Richburg. Baseball pass to Ifeedi. It's stolen away. Right hands by Gabe Hendricks, a 5'10 junior. He lays it up. Offensive foul.
Great play right there. Great play.
Take another look. Ryan Richburg does it again. I mean, he's arguably one of the best charge takers, not just in this district in TAPS 4A Division 3, District 3. He's one of the best in East Texas. Perfect positioning. Takes the whack, and we'll go the other way. 6-4 our score. 3:57 left. Down screen to Bender. They do get it to him. He pulls up. Great mid-range jumper. Got it. And a bit of tap on the hand, too, to go with it through the contact. Crew with that bucket. Doubling up the Bears. 8-4. 3:45 and rolling. Here's Scott. Scott and the Bears going from right to left in the respective device. Ball gets tipped. Bender saves it right in front of us here. He's got 3-on-1. Cupic rises. Layup. It's no good. Not enough on it. However, does get his own rebound with 3.5. He'll pull for 3. Side iron, no good. Garland with the board. Gets it out to Miles. Miles pull up jumper. Too much off of the backboard, and it's going to be another offensive rebound. This is attempt possibly number 4 for the Crusaders to get a basket here. Kick to Richburg. He'll shoot a corner 3. That's good.
You know, seeing the offensive rebound that Gorman's doing now reminds me of the last game we did together. The Reigns girls, when they played against the Gorman girls, all the offensive rebounds.
This time, that offensive rebound to the help of Richburg for an easy 3. Timeout, 30-second timeout taken by Brownsboro. We'll take it with them. Back in 30 seconds on the Other Sports Network. Left to go in the first period. 11-4. Gorman up early at home. Jerry Jones, the coach, man, probably have to be the court side. In the game so far, that it looked like it was pretty much neck and neck, but now Coach Gorman and that quick offense, and as you saw in that last possession, offensive rebounds that led to buckets. It's already almost a double-digit game just off of that one stretch.
Well, they've also started doing their press, the half court zone that they, the half court trap that they wasn't doing at the beginning of the game.
Ball sails into the And the stands, great hands by a fan to keep it away from our camera. That'd be pretty bad. I don't know about you.
A quick exit to the broadcast tonight.
30 minutes left to go. Thankfully, we're still here. 11-4 Gorman. With it is Scott. Scott jump pass up to the middle of the floor to Delaney. Delaney back to Scott. He'll fire from NBA range. He's got it for 3. Scott pulling up from the parking lot. Nailing that 3-ball from the loop, keeping the Bears back in it. Kopech, tough mid-range bucket, no good, and a foul is going to be called. Loose foul on the floor. It's going to be called against Ifedi. That'll be his first. Team second of the quarter. So I don't know, Ifedi, we know he can be pretty physical under the basket, but he seems like he's been battling with this Brownsboro front court under the bucket pretty much all evening long in the early going.
Well, Gorman definitely has a size advantage, so Brownsboro's going to have to shoot outside, as you can see.
Layup no good. Rebounds brought down by Bender, one of the smallest guys on the floor. He averages about 6, knocking on the door, 7 rebounds a contest. Kopech in the corner, long 3, in and out, no good. High rebound by Gabe Hendricks. Gets it up to Scott, now along the sideline, gets to the center of the floor. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left to go. Miles back tips it, however, is going to be saved by Ifedi, and that's going to be his second foul on the loose ball call. Not 100% sure about that one, and it looks like his night is going to come to a quick end, at least for now. Jet Cohen will check in for him as we have our first substitution of the game. Cohen checking into the game at about 6 foot. Listed him as 5'11", but I'll say he's about 6 foot. Combo guard, the junior, checking in for the first time. Also plays on the BG football team. And foul stats.
And baseball.
And baseball, too. Plays tennis. He swims. He's in fencing. Even serves the concession stand on the girls' games. Does everything else.
I think he's a chess master, too, if I'm not mistaken.
He might be. Won't be surprised if Gorman eventually found chess. That's a blocking foul against Bender. His first, team fourth. So that was their last foul to give, at least for this quarter. Great hand by Richburg to come up with a steal. Up to Bender. Great pass to Bender. Layup is good. Through the contact. Hendricks almost got to it. And a strong finish by the returning junior. His first game in a BG uniform in a while.
Well, I'm glad to see Bo back. You know, he's been hurt. I'm glad to see him back. He's still not 100%, I don't think, but he's getting there.
Pull-up jumper is Scott. Long 2, won't go. Cohen with a board. Kills his dribble, gets up to Miles to Kopech on the open break. Goes up, tries to go for the slam. Can't bring the house down. Didn't have enough insurance on it. Cohen kicks out to Richburg. Fade away long 2. In and out, no good. Rebound, Kopech and Hendricks battling for it. Looks like Kopech's going to be charged with a foul. At least I believe as a dueling sub coming in. Nope, that's going to be called against Hendricks. That'll be the junior's first, second on the team in the quarter. 2 subs. Logan Epperson will be checking in, as well as Lane Shaw. Dueling sophomores. And, Coach, we talked about this prior to tip-off, and I talked about this with Coach Smith in the pregame. A very young Brownsboro team.
Very young team. Now, the Epperson kid that just went in is a great kid, great player, great athlete. He is, like he does play a little bit out of control. Shaw that just came in, I actually coached his brother at Cumberland when I was there.
Who didn't you coach on this team to some degree?
Pretty much all of them, unfortunately. That's how old I am.
Showing your age there, huh?
I know it.
Kopech, short corner, half spin, nobody home. Gets it to Miles in relief. Inside of a minute now. Richburg, tough follow away jumper, short, no good. Not enough on it, though. Great job getting in open spaces, Delaney. Delaney, possible back tip, scoop pass is out of bounds. Looks like it was intended for Epperson. Epperson was running with him now with about 54.5 seconds left. Gorman still with the advantage, 13-7.
I didn't see it was touched by Gorman. They're saying it was touched. I didn't see it touched by Gorman.
And the officials talking it over, yep. Although Gorman is up 13-7 with 54 seconds left, I don't know about you, but if I'm Gorman, I don't feel too comfortable with this lead.
No, I don't, because Brownsboro can get hot. And Coach Smith, I have them going.
Jump pass, fake pass, intended for Kopech. Gets back to Miles. He stutter steps, kicks to the corner, intended for Richburg, and it's out of bounds. Now with 42 seconds left, Brownsboro will maybe have 1 or 2 possessions to try to get a basket heading into the break. In the first quarter, that if you're Brownsboro, you have to be relatively happy with. A strong shooting Gorman team has pretty much been kept at bay so far in this first.
Too many unforced errors. I mean, unforced errors by Gorman, and it's showing.
Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by BG will remain Brownsboro basketball. Another reminder that at the half, at the conclusion of the second quarter, we already heard from Don Not a failing about the boys' bracket. We'll hear about the girls' bracket in the Tiger Cafe. Myself and Matt Bright already know we are both excited for that and the rest of our Holiday Hoops coverage. Ball gets stolen. No, it's returned by Shaw. Shaw head fake goes up, kiss off the glass for 2. And now Brownsboro still threatening here. 23 seconds left. Richburg swing to Miles. Steps in and pull up 3. Short, no good. Rebound is corralled by Miles. Cleans his own mess. Rises up. Great layup for 2.
One thing I love what C. Gorman doing. They're crashing the boards. They're getting the offensive rebounds. They just got to get back on defense.
10 seconds left. Up and under layup. National English on the finish for Brownsboro Scott. 2 seconds. 1 second. Richburg fires. No good. And that's how we will end the first period of play. It's been a fun one so far. Coach Smith and the Bears and down but not out. It's 15-11. Back in 30 seconds on the Antler Sports Network. Played one in Tyler. Our score is here at Gymnasium, 15-11. Gorman up on Brownsboro at home. In the first quarter, that was really controlled by the offensive rebounds. A Gorman team that has already out-rebounded Brownsboro by about 13-5, at least by our immediate count. On the offensive boards, Gorman already has 6 offensive rebounds in comparison to Brownsboro's 2. We're now important offensive rebounds are for this Gorman team. Question is, will that continue? Moving in the second, it's Miles, Richburg, Kopik, Bender, and Cohen on the floor for Brownsboro. Starting unit of Hendricks, Fulgham, Delaney, Wright, and Scott currently on the court for Brownsboro. Brownsboro now, as we begin the second. If you're tuning in on ASN Radio, going from right to left on your respective device, we've already played 15 seconds here. Clock rolling. Foul is going to be called. I believe a foul is going to be called, or is it going to be out of bounds? No, it's just going to be out of bounds as Bender was playing close defense on right. Thankfully, didn't get whacked for a call. As now the inbounds passes into Scott. Scott guarded by Miles. Should be a fantastic matchup at the guard spots. And as Bender, close defense once again on right. Almost lost possession, but instead will keep it. They get it down low. One of the basket, no good by Delaney. Rising back up, but it looks like it'll be a shooting foul. Waiting to see who that foul is going to be on. That foul will be charged to EJ Kopik. Thought it was going to be on Bender.
That's 2 on Kopik.
Yep, that's his second. It's EJ's second foul. First of the quarter. I thought that was going to be on Bender, as Bender looked like he might have been closer to the actual shot. Our first free throw of the game for Brownsboro. First one's knocked down by Delaney, the 6'3" senior forward. A team who so far is 0-3 against Smith County teams. Second free throw is good. Now that brings things to a 2-1 possession lead for Gorman. Kopik still on the floor with 2 fouls. They're going to let him stay out there. 7.5 left. Here's Richburg. Richburg to Bender. Bender trying to get downhill. Instead, it's cheated and stolen. Scott rises up. Layup's good. And now, folks, we're back level. It's 15-all off of 2 quick buckets. 2 free throws from Delaney, and now the breakaway layup from Scott. And our Gorman's offense seems like Brownsboro's blitzing and staying in the passing lanes extremely well as Miles to lay up, no good. Rebounded by Jack Cohen. Bender, follow-away 3. That's good.
Another offensive rebound led to points. That's what you have to do. But you had to play a little defense, too.
Yep, second 3 of the game. Off of an offensive rebound for Gorman. First one by Ryan Richburg. This time by Bo Bender in the exact same corner. So now it's yet another lead for Gorman. Our third lead change of the game. 6:54 and counting. Double team. Scott's got to get rid of it somehow, and instead we'll just let it go out of bounds. Smart, because that Gorman double of Miles and Bender having a pretty murky spot that far in the front court.
Well, Gorman has got to put their best defender on Scott, without a doubt. And you had to have Miles over there. Miles is on him.
Miles and Bender both have been switching on it pretty much all night long. With it is Scott. Scott jump pass, doing it a wide open. Shaw, easy bucket. That's a great find there by the guard, showing what happens when you put so much focus in on one offensive player. It opens the door for plenty of other Brownsboro Bears to feast.
Yeah, that was a breakdown on coverage. It reminded me of the Cowboys secondary on Sunday.
Here you go with the Cowboys. Hate again. Kopech on the short two, no good. Back iron. Rebound brought down by Scott. Scott gets it bobbled. Brownsboro still finds a way to get on the basketball.
How's that down to travel?
It was the same call that was made a couple of plays ago. Richburg head fakes, diving, steps through.
Now that's
going
a
to be a
travel. Come on.
So you're not happy with that call?
I'm not happy with it at all. I probably would have got a technical on that if it had been me.
Oh, come on. Brooke Franz will check in for Jack Cohen. Now it's Franz, Kopech, Miles, Richburg, and Bender on the floor for Gorman. 18-17 our score. There's 6 minutes, 3 seconds left to go in our second quarter of our go-home broadcast before we gear up for 10-hour holiday hoops coverage. Layups no good. Offensive rebound, this time caught by Epperson. Long three, Scott, side iron, no good. Rebound by Miles. Miles looking up the floor. Is 2-on-2 for Richburg. Layup swatted, heck of a block. That's 2 blocks already on breakaway layups. As Franz, easy kiss off the glass and responds. Brooks Franz such a big target, and his hands have gotten a lot better as the season has gone on.
Yes.
Maybe he might play baseball for you, Coach.
I just want numbers.
That's a tall outfielder to have, too.
It is.
There's a quick three, taken, no good from right. Rebound by Kopech. Great pass to Bender. It's 3-on-2, now 3-on-3. Takes a contact, no good. Franz with a great tip back to Richburg, who gives it to Miles. Miles layup, no good either. Another offensive rebound. That's number 9 for them in this game. Kopech, top of the key, 3. Nothing but nylon.
You can't leave him open like that.
Especially on that top of the key, that's probably his best hot zone, especially on offensive rebounds when they get so many open looks. It's killing them early, especially from 3. That's 9 points on offensive rebounds just from threes, let alone from overall field goals.
And I guarantee you, Coach Smith knows that. He's going to let the Bears know about it at halftime.
Substitution now is Emery Palmer. Will check in for the first time. The 6-foot sophomore guard / forward.
Great left-handed pitcher right there. Just came in the game, by the way. Just saying, I coached him for several years, too. Great golf player, too.
Delaney getting downhill, guarded by Kopech, goes to the contact, will not get
3.
the layup. Yep, that's 3 on Kopech already. And Coach Kevin Murray looking over at the official, not happy at all, pleading his case.
He's saying he threw an elbow up.
They say that, yeah, but Delaney established position at least early on with the elbow. So if the only thing is, it would be an offensive foul of Delaney's elbow when creating position was excessive. I don't know. Seemed like it was physical for both players, so I probably would have just let that one go. I mean, especially as one of the best players on the floor now has 3 fouls in the very early goings of this game.
That may be why he's got 3 fouls now, because they try to get him out of the game, and Delaney knew that.
Jack Cohen will check back in. Second shot from Delaney is bueno. 23-19, 4:40 and counting left in the second. Gorman already with 2 fouls in the quarter. They had 4 before the end of the first. They get it to Franz. Franz kicks to the corner. Miles, long 2. Nobody home. Strong rebound by Scott. Scott now on the break. Gets to the left sideline right in front of us here. Crosses back over. Steps back, and yep, that's going to be an offensive foul. Foul is going to be charged against Scott. That'll be his first on the team of the quarter. That's Brownsboro. I believe that's Brownsboro's only 3rd foul of this game.
Yeah, they're very. The thing is, you don't want to get Brownsboro to the line of scrimmage. You don't want to get them to the free throw line because they can shoot the free throws.
Team that's shooting 83% from the charity stripe so far this season as Richburg pulls up. 2 ball, no good. Franz going to come down with the board. Instead, it's going to be Scott with it. Scott up the floor. Delaney layup, counter the foul.
Yeah, he was moving. That was a good call. Ryan was moving on that one.
Take another look. Richburg already has a charge taken in this game. Ain't going to get it on the second time around. Instead, he'll get his first foul of the game. And send Brownsboro back to the line again.
You know, Delaney has not missed from the free throw line yet.
Yep, thought he was going to get hit with the announcer jinx.
I was trying to get it for him, Coach, but we didn't quite get it. He's 5 for 5 from the field, from the line of scrimmage.
Free throw. There you are again. Get off of the football field, Coach. Good night.
Well, I've got the state championships going mine coming up Saturday, you know.
Richburg on the miss. Franz with a strong rebound. Can't get it to go. Too much on the layup. Would have been a massive bucket. With it is Delaney again.
He
Took
walked.
one too many steps. Yep, looked like he tried to get his footing to maybe set himself up for a right-hand layup on the left side, or just overthought it because he had a one-on-one, and he's already been in the line a couple times creating contact, so don't know, maybe just overthinking.
He thought he was at American Airlines Arena. Instead of high school ball.
Thought he had a gather step.
Yeah, had to gather step to play.
Last time I checked, that wasn't in the latest rule changes. Bender swings to Richburg now at the top of the key. Inside of 3.5. Richburg follow and the finish for 2 and the foul. Anything you can do, I can do better, says Mr. Richburg as he gets his first and one of the game on the layup.
So the thing is, Richburg took the right amount of steps. He didn't take one extra.
Don't need a mathematician do that. That foul against Delaney, that's his second of the quarter for the team. First trip to the line for Richburg today. His free throw rattles in and out, no good. Strong rebound, snatched down by Delaney. Delaney's going to keep it himself. One thing, he plays the floor, coach, but he brings the ball up himself, and as we've seen, he's pretty comfortable going up the floor, as that's going to be another foul. This time it's going to be charged again. That's Richburg now. That's his second.
That's not good. You got two of the best players on the field, on the court have 2 and 3 fouls apiece.
Not to mention, Ifeedi's been on the bench for a while. He has 2 fouls. Richburg has 2. Guppick has 3. As that first shot from Scott's no good. So the announcer jinx didn't work on Delaney, but maybe it went over. Maybe so. Second free throw is good, though. So it didn't work that time.
Didn't work that time.
25-23. This game's been not necessarily back and forth, but Gorman just really hasn't been able to get any kind of separation against a Brownsboro team that's got him in foul trouble early. Gorman, quick 3 from Richburg. That's good. 32. Richburg, his second 3 of the game. He's 2 for 3 from downtown. Now the trifecta, putting the crew up 5. 2:54 left to go in the second. On the far side, beat cut pass to Palmer. Palmer directing traffic. Guarded by Bender, spins, gets the ball tipped, still has it to Scott. Scott wide open under the basket to Delaney, who's good for 2.
Again, they're losing track of the back door. They got to watch the backdoor pass.
Typically, Gorman's defense is strong. His aspect has been its help side, but tonight, coach, it's been exploited by the forwards of Brownsboro. Bender, corner 3. That's good. Bender, 2 threes for him on the night. Him and Richburg both have 2 3-balls apiece.
Well, that's penetration by Miles, getting to the goal, seeing who's open on the outside and making an outside shot.
And Miles dangerous to pass the ball, whether he's on the ground or even in the air, as Palmer tries to respond, no good. And now BG trying to come up with a bit of a run. Richburg kicks. Miles steps through, will reset. Now drives, gets downhill, up and under, and a layup is going to be blocked. Looks like Shaw might have got a foul on the head.
Got a foul on the head, looks like.
That's going to be on Shaw. Yep, that'll be the sophomore's first. I thought he might have got a bit of a deflection, or maybe not. That's foul number 3 against Brownsboro in this corner. Is now Jalen Miles will head to the charity stripe to shoot 2. Miles shooting 72% from the charity stripe this season. First free throw is good. Checking in for the first time today is going to be Roland Reddick, the 5'10 sophomore guard. He'll be checking in exchange for Palmer. Palmer got a couple of plays and now will set back down. Miles, second shot, winds up, fires, he's got it. So now BG sagging back into the half court, up 33-25 with 1:50 left to go. Another reminder we'll hear again from Don Fallon, the tournament director of Tenaha Holiday Hoops. To break down the girls' bracket in the Tiger Cafe is a snatching offensive rebounding 2 by Delaney. Delaney has been putting in work in the key for Brownsboro, carrying this forward group. Keeping him into this one. Miles, a little bit of razzle-dazzle, no good on the 2-ball. Bender comes down with a rebound, though. Goes around the world, didn't have a passport, though. And France is going to be called the travel. As once again, the penetration is forcing that Brownsboro defense to collapse right on him, and he's finding open guys. And
well, we're getting offensive rebounds, but we've got to put it right back up. We got to finish. We're not finishing.
With it is Scott. Scott, bounce pass was intended for Shaw, but it's tipped by Cohen. Cohen comes up with the steal, and now Richburg has it. Richburg looking up the floor. Euro up and under. Scott at great English on the finish for 2. Richburg, when he gets on the up and floor, I mean, the kid's just dangerous. I don't, if he has numbers.
I don't think Brownsboro can run with us. I think Brownsboro, I mean, we don't look like we're faster, but we are faster, if that makes sense.
I feel it. I pick up what you're putting down. On the drive, Epperson, long two, won't go. Guess who is Delaney on another offensive rebound. Looking, 39 seconds. Scott, sidestep, hesitation, goes baseline. Lay-in is good, and they're going to call it on the floor. No continuation there. As we see who's going to be called for the foul, that's going to be called on Cohen. Thankfully, that's only his first. However, that's the team's fifth, and for whatever it's worth, for the last 34 seconds, Brownsboro will be in the bonus. And in the line again is going to be the Bears. His man Scott. First free throw is good.
You can definitely tell that the offense for Brownsboro goes through Scott. It runs through Scott.
And he's averaging 25 points a game, so can you really blame him?
No.
Second shot's good. Here's Richburg. 33 seconds left. Second game of the doubleheaders here at Ziamada Gymnasium. Junior varsity team got the victory over Brownsboro in a double-digit affair. Here's Richburg, 21 seconds left. A little handoff. Bender off the handoff. Three. He's got it from long distance.
That's three for him in the first half.
Richburg has 2 threes. Bender has 3. 9 seconds left. Scott's going to keep it. No one said he'll swing. Quick three in response. That's good.
That's Delaney again on the outside.
1 second. Full court heave. Backboard no good. And that is how we will head to the half. And a game that has been eventful, to say the least. Both teams headed in the locker room. We'll hear from Don Fallon and more at the half. Gorman hanging on here at home. 38-32 on the ASN family platforms. This is Bishop Gorman Crusader basketball on ASN 1 and ASN Radio. Down the boys side of the bracket. Now let's talk about the other side, the girls bracket of the Tennehaw Holiday Hoops Tournament 15th Annual. Don is back with us. Halftime between Bishop Gorman and Brownsboro and Tyler. And Coach, I mean, we already discussed on the boys side of the bracket how much work went into it. Could you arguably say that ranking the girls is even more difficult? Because just looking at the field, looking at the rankings that you re-released to us earlier today, it's just as stacked, if not even more stacked than the boys' side. So what kind of science or crazy magic or what have you went into putting all these together for the girls?
Well, and the rankings came out this morning, tells us we have about 10 of the 16 teams, and this is just from the TABC Hoops rankings in this tournament. We're getting a new team in Kuntz. They're sitting down there at 9-1 near Beaumont. We know what the boys have had all these years, but I watched a video of them this morning where they played 4A Hardin Jefferson. They beat them by 1. Fantastic game. They have maybe the best guard in the tournament outside of the Martins Mill stud, who everybody knows about, playing in this game. So Kuntz may surprise a lot of people when they come up. They're fast. They're quick. They've got roughly a 5'11", 6-foot girl at the post that she was even bringing the ball down. So I think that's something to look at. But when you talk about how do you rank these, again, I go back to the committee and watching film or watching them live. You have to be able to try to put the matchups together. And another team I want to talk about is Cisco out of the other side of Weatherford, right on I-20. They've been very good in football over the years. Been to Cowboy Stadium for the state championship game and won it before. But the Cisco girls are ranked number 3 in the state right now. And the only teams they've lost to is Jim Ned, who is way up there in 4A, and Abilene Wiley. And they're going to bring a different look to our tournament from basically West Texas look when you step out there. And they could very well be playing for the state championship coming from the Region 1 and 2A champion down to the state tournament. So don't, forget those. The one that's coming from Region 4 is Flatonia. They got upset in their second-round game last year with a whole bunch of sophomores starting. Well, they're back, and they are juniors now. And their point guard is 5'11", been offered college scholarship already. I think she's going to continue to grow. She averages over 25 points a game. And they're 12-1. They've they've tried to play as much competition in Region 4 as they can as far as moving up, playing 3, 4, and 5A schools. But they can only get so much because they're so good in volleyball also. So they didn't even get started. They lost the right to play the state champion volleyball the last game to Johnson City. So they're just now getting – so you got into basketball skills. Watch this team coming out of the top bracket being Martins Mill and the 1A Broadus. Broadus just knocked off the number 10 team in 4A, Bridge City. Friday night, Bridge City was 18-0, and Broadus knocked them off double digits. So you think the boys are tough? The girls are equally tough if you love girls basketball.
I mean, just going to 3A classification, taking a look at Region 2, a possible grudge match out of District 12 and District 16, you have Emory Reigns versus Tatum. I mean, we saw that during the Macy Shinnervert tournament in Tyler here at Bishop Gorman, ironically, a couple of weeks ago. And we saw both of those teams put on stellar performances. Now they're on an even bigger stage against more competition. Out of that 3A classification, do you think Region 2 might be a cut above the rest just off of those two teams alone and the rest of the field that kind of backs them up?
Oh, I do. Region 2's very, tough. Reigns went to the state championship last year. Got to watch them play down in San Antonio. Tatum, my goodness, what she does over at Tatum is amazing. They're 9-4 last night. They beat White Oak pretty good last night in their opening round of district. They went deep in volleyball too, so they're only going to be better by the time they get to December 26th. They open with Flatonia. That's the first game of the day right there that everybody needs to zero in on, is that Tatum and Flatonia. Now, Reigns, Coach Jenkins does an amazing job there. Those kids, they hustle, and she runs about 8 or 9 deep. So I think the favorites probably there, of course, Martins Mill. I mean, they're number 1. They won state in 2A last year. They have everybody back plus some. Then you're going to be up in there. Is it going to be Flatonia, Tatum, Broadus in the top bracket, and you slide down low, then you've got Reigns. You've got Hooks we're not even talking about. Hooks has done an amazing job turning the girls program around. 6 years ago, they were lucky to finish last in the district.
Here at I say bar none. What do you say to that?
When we started this 15 years ago, Scott Tyner and myself said we have to have something different, that people will come to this tournament. We don't want just to have great teams. We want people filling the stands. Tiger Cafe, we had a guy that was working for us in the maintenance department, but he was a great cook. Then we hired the bus transportation director, who was a great cook. And they cooked the first time. Well, last year, the Tiger Cafe alone took in over $50,000. When I talk that kind of money in 3 days, we are serving some quality food. I mean, the first day alone, that night is going to be Cajun fried catfish, boiled shrimp, beef chicken quesadillas, and chicken fried steak. Then it changes on Friday, and we add baby back ribs and sausage. Then Saturday, we go to Cajun fried jumbo shrimp. You cannot beat this, and we've kept prices down that for lunch it's $8, and for dinner it's $10. And it's a full dinner. You get french fries, baked potato salad, or coleslaw, and sweet tea. Yes, we have non-sweet tea also, but the sweet tea in Tenhall is pretty special. So I don't think you can beat the entertainment value that people can drive to Tenhall, Texas, or to Pinota College, or to Timpson, Texas, and see better entertainment and great basketball than you can for Holiday Hoops number 15.
Thank you to Don Fallon for taking some time to break down the field, the boys and the girls. Myself, Matt Bright. Superintendent of Martins Mill, Scott Tyner. The KBM crew of Kevin Boyer, as well as Mike McCary. The entire Antler Sports Network crew, even our executive director and director of stats and analytics, Justin Jackson. We will all be there for all 3 days of action. Follow it all online at antlersn.com/holiday hoops. Coach, you watched a lot of film. You looked at numbers. You looked at newspaper clippings. You've looked at it all. Even at the latest rankings, this is going to be one stacked field, my friend.
I cannot wait for next week. It's going to be something special.
Once again, follow all the action, all tournament long, from tip-off to the title game at antlersn.com/holiday hoops. Gorman will open the second half with possession first, going from right to left on your respective device. Richburg coming out of the break, firing up a quick three, short, no good. Ifedi goes out of bounds. Looked like he might have tried to shove him off a little bit. Might have got away with one there.
Jed, I don't know if you noticed, but Brownsboro came right out of the locker room straight to the court. And they did that. It reminds me back to how whenever Coach Smith played for Brownsboro, and the coach he had, Coach Good, would do that. Send the kids out straight to the court and start playing.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Well, if I know Coach Smith, it's probably because of the little bit of tail chewing that he did at halftime. And he didn't want to see the fans over here hearing about it. But that's what Coach Good would do. He'd bring them right out, have them pumped up, get right to the court, start playing ball.
On the dribble drive is Fulgham. Now kicks off to Hendricks. Quick movement here. Scott fires for two. Back iron, no good. Rebound, offensive crowd by Shaw. Shaw rises up out of the foul. Counted and one. Coming out of the break, Coach Brownsboro. One solid possession, lots of great ball movement on and off the basketball, and resulting in a two ball, a foul, and a trip to the line.
That's what I was saying. Come right out of the court, right out of the locker room, straight to the court, start playing ball.
Shaw absolutely snatching that rebound away. Foul is going to be called against Gorman. First of the quarter. Free throw, however, is missed. Still a 4-point game. Stolen away by Hendricks. Great pass, however, it's tipped. Open floor is Delaney, up and over, no good. Rebound is tipped, however, out of bounds. Gorman ball.
Delaney missed it because he was too close to the basket. He hasn't made a shot inside the paint all game. Everything's been outside the paint.
Yeah, you have to notice he takes off a bit earlier. He gathers a lot earlier, trying to use his deer-like legs and arms to stretch and maybe give more room to get contact. And so far, Coach, it's worked. Bender's going to pull another three. Rattles in and out, no good. Rebounds brought down by Scott. Scott's going to keep it himself. High dribble about at the bus. Now crosses over. Gets downhill to the right. Steps back behind the back spin, guarded by Richburg. 6:40 left to go in the third quarter. Downhill is Delaney again, and he's in for two. Once again, using that size and athleticism to extend the ball out, keep it away from the defender. Now, guess what? Coach Brownsboro's only down two.
And they go into the halftime, they're down by 6-7 points, and now they're right back in it.
And one thing to note, Gorman has a steal, and we'll get to that in a moment. High arcing passes stolen away by Scott. Open three, no good. Rebound Miles. Gorman had 12 offensive rebounds heading into the half, and they were only up 6 as a foul is going to be charged against Fulgham, the juniors' team first of the quarter.
Yeah. Just being too aggressive. Fulgham being too aggressive. Gorman they've got to get hot again. They got cold. They went in, they got cold. Brownsboro went in, they got hot.
Bender and Richburg both had 5 threes amongst each other. Speaking of Bender, he'll let another one go no good. It seemed like they might have gotten cold. Ifedi will keep it to Miles. He'll let one go of his own, no good as well. This time, defensive rebound controlled by Fulgham once again. Looks like slowly but surely Brownsboro has been trying to keep BG off of the offensive boards, because that was the main reason why they couldn't pull ahead in turnovers as well.
Great pass
to Richburg, layup, it's good.
That's what they have to get back to. Gorman has to get back to their fast break offense and the transition from defense to offense. Brownsboro's going to slow it down. They want to play slow ball.
And it's worked. At least so far, they've stayed in this thing. Corner three, Delaney, no good. Rebound, Corral.
That was Fulgham.
Yep, that was Delaney who tried to get for the rebound, couldn't get it. Layup by Bender, no good. Strong rebound by Fulgham yet again. Ball is tipped out. We're going to say last touch was by Bender and BG. It'll be Brownsboro basketball that we see looking over to our left of the coaching staff. There's Ricky Wilson, Ed Burns, and head coach Kevin Murray. Visible frustration on their faces.
Coach Murray looks very frustrated right now.
He's a very blank guy on the court unless something very explosive happens, but you can see clear as mud he is not happy the way his team has played.
Well, they're definitely not playing like they did last week in Getso. It's not even the same team against Brownsboro.
Not at all. As a rebound gets tipped eventually to Shaw. Shaw onto the floor with a Richburg. Ball gets tied up. Murray tried to call a timeout. Looks like Richburg might have had a possession at first, and no, he didn't get that timeout off.
Didn't get it.
So arrow pointing in favor of the Bears, so they will get it. 4:53 left in this third quarter. It's a 4-point game. Brownsboro is hanging tight with a number 7 team in TAPS 4A.
You know, this is a big game for Brownsboro. You know, they open district Friday against Van at home.
A tough Van team. That's one of the hardest districts probably in the state, not just East Texas. As Feedy hawks it down. Open floor. Rises up. High arcing layup. And the foul.
And one.
And one, number 3 of the game for Bishop Gorman as we take another look all from the turnovers. If it wasn't the offensive rebounds that's killed Brownsboro so far, Coach, it's been the turnovers and allowing Gorman to get in transition. You talked about this in the opening moments of the game. Gorman is a very fast team. You don't want to get out and run with them.
Well, and the thing is, though, is that the turnovers for Gorman has kept Brownsboro in the game. Too many unforced turnovers from Gorman has kept Brownsboro in it.
So kind of like tit for tat. The question is, who's going to get more points off of those turnovers?
Right.
After the free throw, 43-26, 36 says the layup is foul. And if that's on Ifedi, I believe that's number 3. Second of the quarter. As we're waiting, scoreboard says that's only his second. And yep, we're confirming here as Shaw missed the first free throw.
Third.
No, that's his fourth. That is 4 fouls. He only has one more to go, as it looks like Brooks Franz will be called off the bench to check in. Yep, because at around the 7-minute mark, that was Carlin's third, and that recent foul, that's his fourth. So by my count, at least, that's 4 on him.
That's what they're checking now. That's what the Brownsboro coaches are checking.
Yep. The table just confirmed that is his fourth, and Shaw knocks down the second free throw. Thankfully, they got him out quick enough to try to stop the bleeding. But now that definitely eats into your forward depth. As Franz, as well as Kupik, will have to probably play the 4 and the 5 as he'll fire one for 3. EJ can't get it to fall. Rebounds brought down by Shaw. Shaw immediately gets it to Hendricks up the sideline.
Well, he double dribble coming to the court, but there was no referee there to see it.
Yeah, at least I don't have a whistle. I think my whistle's in the car. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be Gorman basketball.
Coach Murray saw it. I promise you, he saw it. And I think Coach Smith saw it. He turned around and looked the other way real quick.
It's always funny to see what coaches know they got away with a call or lack thereof. They kind of just try to play it off. That's always fun to see. Substitution, dueling subs, pending for Brownsboro. Kopik on the dribble drive, center of the floor, follow-away jumper from 12, no good. Strong rebound, getting him off. It's Fulgham. Fulgham with a little bit of a fly swat for coming down with that. Here's Scott. Scott takes the screen from Shaw. Has Bender on him on the switch. Trying to go to work.
How is that not offense? He pushed him off and didn't get the call.
Ended up being a turnover anyway as Bender right into the maintenance closet here at the gymnasium. I don't think he's going to walk out with a hammer or maybe a floor sign or anything. Hopefully he's okay. Trying to see if he came out. Yep, he did. He's all right. Thank goodness. Scared me for a quick second. Substitutions for Brownsboro as well. As now looks like they're checking the score. Looks like Coach Smith is debating the call. The scoreboard has 43-37. We have 43-37.
He's discussing about the foul a while ago on
Ifedi.
Yeah,
it's 4. That's his 4. The book has 4. We have 4. I'm pretty sure anyone in the gym that has a pencil and pad that can count has 4. Don't know what else could be disputed here because he had the foul. That foul number 3 on him was back on the far side block at the 6-minute mark, and he recently had that one just a minute ago. As now on the run after the dispute is right, haven't called his name in a short while, as he'll now reset, get things going. And if you're Brownsboro, that's not what you want. Extended periods of breaks, especially now as you turn the basketball over. Jump pass, thankfully it's stolen. Scott has it. Center of the floor. Into Miles. Kick to the corner. Head fake and drive. Steps back. Right. Now to Scott. And a timeout is going to be called by Coach Scott and the Bears. That's his first of the game. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll be back in 30, though. Jared Jones, Coach Wright, happy to be with you. Gorman up 43-37. Back in 30 on the ASM Family platforms. This is Crusader Basketball. To the break, 43-37, our score. BG up here at home. Jared Jones, that's right, the coach. Happy to be with you courtside. As the Gymnasium, our go-home broadcast before our coverage in 1 week of Tenahall Holiday Hoops. 3 packed days of basketball right after Christmas. I mean, we heard from Don Phelan talking about the food, and your eyes just absolutely lit up.
Well, yeah, and you told me to put my headset back on. Just by the time he starts talking about that, I'm like, let's see. We got Cajun food coming. We got chicken fried steak coming.
I feel like you might be more excited for the food than the actual basketball.
I'm going to have to call my doctor and get a prescription for my weight loss medicine, get it refilled.
Coach Ryder, are you on Ozempic?
No, I need to be, probably. I'm on everything else. When you turn 50, you got to start taking lots of medicine. You'll get there one day, Jared. Here we go.
Lord willing, 3:18 and counting. 43-37 our score. Brownsboro calling their first time out. On the drive is Wright. Wright gets it bobbled. They kick and reset to Scott. Yet another squandered opportunity after the missed board. Driving is Scott. Too hard on the pound dribble. It's loose. Scott somehow finds a way. He's got a one-on-one break as Richburg whacks him, and he'll rise and head to the line. Richburg a bit confused. Yep, that's his third foul. So now Kuplik has 3, Richburg has 3, Ipedi has 4, and Cohen and Bender have 1 apiece.
Yeah,
that's the foul trouble for BG. And one thing to note, every single starter except for Miles has a foul. I mean, that's not the best situation to be in.
Not
Scott,
for
first free throw is good.
But if you notice, Scott has not come off the court.
No.
Scott has not come off the court. You know, Everson's going back in now.
He'll be checking in exchange for Peyton Brockway, the 6'5 senior. We saw a little bit of him. That's a big dude. That's a massive human being.
He's a big boy. Brownsville's got some big kids.
Got that right. He ate his Wheaties growing up as Scott converts on the second try. 43-39. Gorman not out of the woods just yet. So a lot of basketball left to play. 2:49 and counting. Miles taking his time. Takes the frame screen, gets downhill. Kopek will let a quick one fly from 3. No good. Strong rebound from Shaw as Richburg tried to get through quickly to come down with it. Here's Epperson now. Epperson, kick to Scott. Long 3. Rainbow shot. Not enough on that one, out of bounds. Miles with a tough contest. Some of the BG coaching staff saying a deflection or maybe a foul. Coach, you are slightly closer than I am to that shot. What do you say?
I didn't see a foul, but I mean, Scott shot that one from the parking lot. I mean, he
shot that thing from Toll 49.
Yes,
I mean,
it was way out there.
It was almost at the loop shooting that ball. That's a great
pass, great pass
under the basket. Exactly what the doctor ordered. The dry spell finally over for both of these teams. Seems like we've waited a very long time to see either of these teams get a basket. Quick pass and trying to cut his Epperson, but instead looks like Wright wanted him to stay in the corner. And he'll be out of bounds. Possession will go back to BG, and it looks like Coach Smith and the rest of this Brownsboro team understanding that one more squandered opportunity is just another possession for BG to continue to expand their lead.
They're seeing it slip it away from them. They were so close, and then mistake after mistake after mistake, and that's when Gorman's taking advantage of it. Right there, great screen.
Mid-range shot from Bender, no good. Franz, pound dribble, kicks it back out, tried to get it to Richburg in the corner. They're going to say last touch was by...
Touchdown Brownsboro, baby. Gorman's ball.
Last touch by Delaney. Be Crusader basketball with their own basket. Miles, clear lane
pass
to Franz. Tough layup, no good. Offensive rebound collected by Miles, who kicks out to Kopik. And a timeout's going to be called. I'd say a pretty smart timeout, too. A lot of traffic under the basket. So Coach Murray want to stop the bleeding and take a second. Minute 42 left to go. It's going to be a 30. We'll take it with him. 45-39, 142 left to go in the third. Back after this, Crew basketball continues.
Give it everything at Pelche Key and Tyler, where tough never quits.
Third quarter, 142 left to go. 45-39, BG up here at home against a team that they've already beaten in the Grady East Texas shootout, but historically, the Bears have had their number since 2005. Brownsboro has 8 wins to Gorman's 2. However, as I previously mentioned, in the Grady East Texas shootout semis, Gorman, a huge victory as friends, having to play a lot of extra minutes due to Ifedi being in deep foul trouble. 2 points there. Beat him in the semis 65-38. Although prior to that, Brownsboro's won the past 2 meetings, and they're going to need a lot to make it 4 out of the last 5 matchups, Coach.
Yeah, the thing is Gorman beat them at Brownsboro. It's hard to beat Brownsboro at Brownsboro, especially in basketball for sure.
Let alone in their tournament.
As
Miles picked him clean. Up to Richburg, up and under, no good. Rebound follow-up by Miles is an easy deuce. And now it's a 10-point game with a minute left to go in the third. And we talked about this right as we went to break. If you're Coach Smith, you know that this game is slipping away, and you can't have turnover after turnover. Spinning away, great ball handling by Epperson. Epperson, fadeaway jumper, that's good.
That was a great play right there by Logan. He all by himself. I've seen him do that too many years ago growing up.
Took 2 different defenders, pretty much the length of an NBA shot clock, and still finished. 30 seconds now. Kopech drives. Scoop pass to Richburg. He'll fire for 3. No good. Can't get the shooter's roll. Bender fighting for it. The smallest guy on the floor and a second amongst his Crusader team in offensive rebounds a game. Kopech, 19 seconds. Land is good on the English on the finger roll. Finish, a little finesse.
Again, it's that offensive rebound. The Gorman is pushing to the ball and crashing the boards.
Scott, no good. 5 seconds left. 4 seconds. 3, 2, out of bounds. And Coach Kevin Murray, as we hear and you see, not happy at all. At least I don't think he's happy. What do you say? I don't know.
I've seen Coach Murray smile a lot, but I haven't seen him smile a lot tonight for sure. Maybe if there's 1.9 seconds left in the fourth, he'll start smiling.
We've seen 2 half-court shots in this gym before. Foul away, too much on it, and that's where we'll head to the final period. Fourth quarter is right up on us. Fresh 8 minutes to go. Brownsboro trying to stay in it, down 10, 51-41 our score. Back in 30 seconds. Crusader basketball continues after this. Fourth quarter, just moments away from commencing here in Tyler. 51-41 our score. At our go-home broadcast, we'd like to wish all of our viewers on ASN 1, 2, KBMM, ASN Radio, and all everywhere in between, a happy holidays from the Orange and Black to you. Coach, while we have a brief moment, do you have a favorite Christmas gift from your childhood or even recently?
Oh, my Lord. Wow. I guess we go. You're talking about 50 years of Christmases, Jared.
That's a lot of options.
A lot of options.
Give us a top 3 or just a couple honorable mentions.
Probably my first deer rifle I got from my dad. That meant a lot.
Do you still have that rifle?
I do still have that rifle. It's at my dad's house. He's got it. I don't have it.
Ifedi notably back in the game for Gorman as Scott follow away jumper no good. almost coming down with it. Epperson with a delayed jump. And, I don't know about that one. Thankfully, we have instant replay, so we can take a look. Let's look. We have the shot from Scott. Ball goes up.
They called it a foul.
Yeah, they call it was a box out. It was a box out you see right under the basket. And it's hard to disagree with the officials there as we take a second look. Even though one thing to note, Miles is pointed towards the basketball. However, that's still going to be a foul on him. That's only his first, team first of the quarter.
He said that he couldn't. He said he backed into him. That's what you're supposed to do in a box out. You back into him.
Yeah, but the main discrepancy in terms of boxing out into a defender is Bender almost comes up with a steal. The main discrepancy in terms of how to properly box out, as we take one more final look, is how you box out. He gets engaged here. Moving him back, and it looks like he might have had the arm maybe on the hook. That could be what it could possibly be called for. 3 balls no good, and a loose ball foul under the basket. Yeah, this one isn't going to get called. I don't think so. That one's going to be charged to Lane Shaw. Yep, that'll be Shaw's second. First on the team this quarter. So this is where crunch time, slowly but surely, begins to settle in. That's 2 hard fouls. However, thankfully, I don't think either of these teams are going to get too chippy after a little bit of contact.
No, and I promise you, Coach Smith will not allow that from Brownsboro.
As Kopik gets picked, however, is Cohen on the lay-in. Got it for 2. That's Richburg, on the layup.
Richburg he's had a great game. He's had a defensively and offensively.
And it's what he does. He's done it for the past couple of years. I would say he's really been the biggest glue guy in this BG program. He's played and defended 1 through 4 in Coach Kevin Murray's system that preaches versatility. And Richburg is the quintessential definition of it, as a tough finish there for the Bears for 2. Keeping them in this thing. It's still a 10-point game with 6:43 left to go in the final frame. A lot of basketball left to be played. Here's Miles.
My second gift would probably be my baseball glove that I got from my dad one year.
And Richburg, there he is for 3. And once again, the net gets stuck. They free it. That's Richburg's 4th 3 of the night. He has been absolute money from downtown.
He's firing on all cylinders right now.
Here's Epperson. Guarded by Miles. Swing to the far side to Delaney. They're looking to try to get it to Shaw down low, not getting the best positioning, though. Set of the feet by Palmer. Front iron, no good. Coming up with it is Miles. Murray telling Miles to slow things down. You have the clock on your side, and now you definitely have the numbers in terms of the lead on your side. So
Brownsville's going to start pressuring. They're going to start pressuring well.
Tried to go for the roll. Kopik didn't roll quick enough. It's stolen away instead by Delaney.
Kopik's got to be careful. He's got 3.
Delaney, kick to the corner. Far side to Epperson. Epperson on the slot. It's going to be a timeout. Yep, Coach Smith is going to want to talk things over, understandably so. His teammate out of it yet. 5:46 left to go. Down 56-43 in Tyler. Back at 30 from the ASN family platforms. This is Crusader basketball. Return from Tyler. BG up here at home. Up pretty solid in a game that initially saw 2 lane changes in the first quarter. So far, it's been all Gorman. Jared Jones, the coach, Matt Bright, happy to be with you courtside. And a game that has started off entertaining, but now it seems to just be a battle of volition.
And Gorman's finally, I think Gorman has finally wore Brownsboro now. The defense is starting to pressure Brownsboro a lot. Brownsboro getting sloppy with the ball.
Brownsboro's going to have to pressure too, wouldn't you think?
They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to stop. They're going to stop Gorman from penetrating. But the thing is, they penetrate, they kick it out, and we hit the 3. So
checking in is Reddick, currently with it on the right side. Looked like he might have had some room to maybe let a 3 fly. Instead, we'll kick out to Epperson again. Dribble handoff back to Reddick. Reddick, far skip. Give it to Scott. Expect the ball to be in his hands a lot in the last couple of minutes, and that is exactly why.
That's why right there.
Right on cue. Bucket makes it 56-45. 5:17 left. And they'll kick out to Miles on the reset. Hasn't even begun his dribble. Now he's closely defended. Delaney guarding. Dump off, and it's going to be a foul called. Zaifidi, perfect position, will draw the foul ahead of the line to shoot two for the second time today. Foul is going to be charged to Reddick. That's only his first, though. However, team second of a quarter.
You know, we've not been to the line a lot tonight.
No,
we
not
really
at all.
haven't.
75% shooting team in the past 5 games. Free throw was good. 57-45 after the Reddick shooting foul. Second shot, side iron, no good. Rebound by Shaw. Shaw gets it now to Scott. Scott immediately picked up, being met at the timeline by Richburg. Swing to Delaney. Delaney, dribble drive to Reddick. Reddick head fake. Great kick to the corner. Mid-range jumper again. It's good for the Bears. So that's 2 quick buckets.
Yeah, that was Epperson on the outside.
Epperson and Scott, that's a great 1-2 punch at the guard spot, especially to try to compensate for the quickness of the Gorman guards.
Well, and the thing is, Epperson's just a sophomore, so he's still got 2 more years in Coach Smith's system.
Richburg lets another one fly, no good. Rebound by Reddick. Reddick in the center of the floor, resetting. Looks like he almost traveled. Keeps the foot down, and a rising layup by Delaney's good. And now 57-49. Clock is rolling. 4:19 left. Miles picks up the rolling ball from Kopech. He'll be met at the timeline by Delaney.
Gorman they've got that kid. Keep it slow.
But don't turn the ball over.
Don't turn the ball over. And if you have a high percentage shot, you have to make there's a turnover right there by Scott.
Stolen away. Scott on the breakaway. Layup is good. Up the slap on the back of the backboard. Bottom of the backboard. And how about this, Coach? It's a 6-point game.
We went from 12 down to 6, just like that.
In 2 minutes and 47 seconds, this lead has been slashed in half. 3:45 left. Here's Miles. Miles steps back. Breaks the count. Delaney now steps back up to restart it. Miles gets downhill. Strong pass to Ifidi. His layup's no good.
Make the layups.
Rebound Reddick is going to be a jump ball. No foul call. Arrow looks like it's going to be in favor of the Crew, so they'll inbound it under their own basket. And now Coach Murray really was assistant coaches looking for answers. Now to Bender. Bender steps back, donning the number 5 on the back of that white District Gorman jersey. Drives, kicks. Richburg goes across to Bender. Bender hit fakes. Thought he was going to fire the 3, but smartly resets and steps back out. 30-17 and counting. Guarded by Reddick. Between the leg dribble. Dump off pass. Out of bounds. It's going to be Brownsboro basketball. 3:14 left to go. They're only down 6.
That's not what they need to do. They've got to make the passes, and they can't turn the ball over. And the thing about it is, Epperson and Scott will shoot the 3. You've got to keep your hand in front of them.
Speaking of Epperson, he drives, kicks to Reddick. He fakes the 3, gets downhill. Layup's no good. A lot of contact. No foul, though. Bender comes down with a board. Bender to Richburg. Richburg on the break. Kicks. Kopech. Long 3. That's good.
That was a big shot. Another one in the net.
Massive 3 from Kopech. His second 3 of the game. Hit the first one from the top of the key. This one knocking it down from the far side corner.
That's a big shot.
Massive shot. Trying to keep the surging Brownsboro team at bay. However, it's still just under 3 minutes left. A lot of basketball, and it's only a 9-point game.
Well, you notice what we've done now is also we've moved Ryan up to guard Scott. Ryan probably our best defender.
Shaw, kick to the corner. Driving, layup, it's good from Scott, and he does it again. And it looks like it's going to be yet another timeout for Brownsboro. I believe Coach Smith and company will have one last out. And it'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. Brownsboro down 7 on the Antler Sports Network. back from BG, fourth quarter, brought to you by our website, antlersn.com. If you want high school basketball stats, division classification, schedules, rankings, and more from across the state of Texas and beyond, go online to our high school basketball page at antlersn.com/HSBB. Jared Jones, Coach Matt Bright, happy to be with you in a game that could possibly be turning around in Brownsboro's favor. However, Bender, long three from the corner, no good. Strong rebound by Delaney, just towering above everybody else. And that's really been the main thing that's keeping this team alive. In this fourth quarter, the offensive rebounds have not been an issue for Brownsboro on the boards.
No, it's not. They're crashing the boards, and they're getting the boards and moving the ball up the court. I just heard Coach Smith, as soon as they got the board, pushed the ball to the floor. And Gorman went into the trap on the corner.
Here's Epperson. Epperson, runner, tough shots, good for two. Gorman now up by a nickel. If you're now watching on ASN 1, Brownsboro has one timeout. That timeout being a full. Coach Murray and the Crusaders have 3 fulls, so keep that in mind as we go on. Kopic, dump off. And it's going to be a foul call. It looks like a handle on the back. Yep, I believe that is on Epperson. Waiting on the official signal. Yes, it is. Thankfully, that's only Epperson's first. Team's third of the quarter. So one more foul to give for the Bears for the remaining 1 minute and 42 seconds. And we see both of these coaches, both of their demeanors have absolutely changed.
Completely changed. Coach Smith is a little bit more intense, and as is Coach Murray.
Ball goes into the backcourt, of course. Will not be a backcourt violation. Here's Bender. Bender, guarded by Reddick. Hands it to Richburg. Richburg now to Miles. Guarded by Epperson. Screen, doubled. Kopic pulls up, elbow jumper, no good. Rebound is corralled by Reddick. Strong rebound and a massive rebound. Up to Scott. Scott on the open floor. In and out dribble. Drives, layup, no good. Rebound Shaw. He rises and will draw the foul. Head of the line to shoot 2.
Offensive rebound again.
This time it looks like the offensive rebound bug has bit Gorman in the butt. This one foul is going to be called against Ifedi. I think I saw a 2 go up.
If that's 5 on him.
And yep, that's 5 on Ifedi. His evening is now over. The sophomore having to check out. Brooks Franz will check in. And this is going to be interesting because the main thing, Franz, I would say at least hands-wise on the boards, a little bit better than Carlin, but the main thing that separates Carlin from Brooks, at least in this game that we've seen, is finishing ability. Carlin's been solid around the hoop.
Exactly. And that's we got a rebound in the game, which is good. We need that, but we still have somebody to finish ball. We got to have somebody finish the basket underneath the goal.
They didn't need that first miss, though. Shaw, the sophomore, standing at 6'2", with a Stone Cold Steve Austin style brace on the right knee. Second shot. In and out, also no good. Ball gets tipped. It's in possession of Gorman. Kopic comes down with it. Shaw almost took out Kopic in the ankle. Thankfully, it wasn't intentional, so no foul, no harm, no foul. And a timeout is going to be called by Coach Kevin Murray. It's going to be a full. We'll take 30, though. 1:12 left to go. Gorman, the number 17 with the lane, trying to hang on. Brownsboro not letting them get loose, though. Back in 30 seconds from the ASN family platforms. It's Gorman versus Brownsboro. .12 left to go. Coach Murray calling one of his 3 remaining timeouts. Brownsboro has 1 full. Gorman has 2 fulls. And a new sub. It's going to be Jacob Fulgham checking into the game. That's interesting. Most coaches want to keep that 5 on the floor, especially that has chopped a lead that was once at 12 down to 6 in a matter of about a minute or 2 minutes and change.
I'll tell you about Jacob Fulgham. He's a 3-point shooter. That's why he's in the game right now. We got him, Scott, and Epperson. All 3 can shoot the threes.
As looks like Kopic comes down with it. Foul on Scott. That's his second. Team fourth of the quarter, so that was their last foul to give. One more foul, and the crew will be shooting the rest of the way. A very valuable asset to have. It is a handoff to Richburg now. Richburg, crab dribble, guarded by Epperson. They now trap it. Important possession here. It gets tipped. It was last touched by Fulgham. You talked about his three-point shooting, but almost came up with arguably the biggest steal of the game there with a minute 4 left.
And he's going to push the ball up the floor and either pull up and shoot three or take it to the hole and try to get it, 2 for 1.
Brownsboro needs something here. They got to get a turnover and get it quickly. They get it to Miles into the backcourt as he goes across the timeline. Weaving through traffic, up and under, layup no good.
Has to make a layup. Got to make a layup.
Tipped by Reddick. He has it. It's stolen away by Miles to Bender. Bender layup and the foul. Huge foul. That one most likely is going to be called, I believe, against Epperson. And if it is, that'll be his second. And send Gorman either way is going to send BG to the line the rest of the way. Foul against Epperson indeed. That is the sophomore second, team fifth.
Well, that's a huge steal. I mean, a huge steal inside, on our side of the court.
Free throw's good from Bender. And his first game in a while back, at least at a relatively 100%. 47.5 seconds left. Second free throw. No good. Rebounds brought down by Fulgham. Pushing up the floor is Scott. Scott behind the back dribble. Hard pass. Open three for Delaney. No good. Rebound Delaney. Rises back up and he draws a foul. Will head to the line. However, you have to think even if they split this one as the foul is charged against Bender, that's his second team second of the quarter. Even a split trip to the line, it's over, most likely.
Yes.
You would have to think.
Yes.
You have to go 2 for 2 here, to say the least. Free throw is no good.
That's his first miss of the night from the free throw line.
The question is, the team that's shooting almost 80% in the past week for Gorman, who do you even foul? Free throw is good, and it looks like Coach Smith has called his final timeout. It's going to be a full. We'll take it with him. A split trip to the line with 36.5 seconds left. Gorman controls her own destiny here, up 61-56. Back at 30.
Give it everything at Pelche Key and Tyler. We're tough, never quits.
Brownsboro on their final timeout, looking to try to hang on to something here. Down with 36 seconds left, 61-56. Jared Jones, Matt Bright, happy to be with you. Coach, you talked about what Brownsboro needed. You said a 3-ball, a steal, a layup, a side of fries, a napkin, and a coupon for buy one, get one free next time you come up here.
Exactly.
In other words, it's a lot.
It's a lot, but the thing about, and I'm not just saying it, but the thing about Coach Smith, if anybody can pull something out, Coach Smith will find some way to do it.
I mean, we saw what happened on New Year's Day in 2021. We saw a buzzer beater, so maybe so. We're still in Smith County. That's going to be a quick foul on Epperson. That's his third.
And that's not a smart foul on Brownsboro's part, putting Miles on the line.
Yeah, but he did split his last trip as Brooks Franz will check back in. And offense defense sub is Jack Cohen. Will most likely be the switch out guy the rest of the way.
Well, Jack's used to just kicking field goals anyway, so he's good.
Back iron, no good. That's huge. As Franz will check back in. Notably, only one in. No, never mind. Only one in to get a possible rebound is Richburg and Miles. 4 blue jerseys to 2 white ones. That free throw, though, was good. Huge shot. Could possibly be the final nail in the coffin.
You're about, we got to stop. Scott's going to shoot the 3. He's going to pull up.
Instead, it's going to be Epperson who has it. Looking, wasting valuable time. Corner, Reddick lines it, fires. No good. Rebound, Franz, and that could possibly do it. And an intentional foul. It's going to be called against Fulgham. Yep, that's his second. That will send Franz to the line. And even a split trip here, as if it wasn't. It will also be the final nail in the coffin as we see Coach Murray slowly but surely relaxing the shoulders a tad bit more because he knows he is ever so closer to absolutely escaping.
Well, that's what he did tonight. We actually escaped because there was, but we never gave up the lead though. We got close, but we never gave it up.
First shot from France is good. 63-56 with 21.4 left to go.
Jay, we talk about the Tenahall tournament coming up. Gorman's in a pretty big tournament themselves, the TJC Wagstaff Classic.
19 seconds left. Reddick looking to try to get a three off. Epperson will let one fly from the corner. No good. Reddick, strong rebound, gets it snatched away by Miles. Just throws the ball in the air. So one-handed snag by Delaney. Delaney pushing to Scott. Scott is going to take a two. Won't get it to go. France comes down with it, and that will do it.
Great
ball
job.
game.
Great job by Gorman on that. Kept the pressure up. That's a big win. That's another big win for Gorman. Big win for Gorman over a good basketball team.
I mean, it's a lot closer the first time they met. So with that, Gorman moves to 12-3 overall, 4-1 at home. Coach Smith and his Brownsboro Bears go to 8-7, 2-6 on the road. We'll take one more short break when we come back. Matt and I will put a bow on tonight. About a 30-second break after this. Crusader basketball on the Antler Sports Network. Final in Tyler, Gorman survives, the number 7 team. An absolute scare from Brownsboro. Wow, what a game this was. 2 lead changes in the first quarter, nothing more after that. I wouldn't say a wire-to-wire victory, however, I'm no mathematician or dictionary expert. It's still a W in the win column for Gorman.
Hey, it doesn't matter if you win by 1, if you win by 30. It's a W, that's what matters.
Still a W nonetheless. Coach Friday, any closing thoughts?
Great game. Gorman, I know they got Crossroads coming up, then they got the Wagstaff Classic, but what I'm looking forward to is our tournament we got coming up in Tenahall. There's some amazing basketball coming, but I'm also looking forward to the food, too. The food's going to be great, too.
If you want to keep up with all that, go on.
Can't wait for that.
AntlerSN.com/holiday hoops. Once again, our final from Tyler, BG 64, Brownsboro 56. For Matt Bryant, our camera operator, Noah Raditz, our executive producer, Justin Jackson, back in our Houston ASN studios, pushing all the right buttons and the rest of our fantastic Antler Sports Network crew. This is Jared Jones saying so long from Tyler. For the last time, our final, Gorman 64, Brownsboro 56. This will do it until Holiday Hoops. We'll see you in Tenahall. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and all the above. Until Tenahall, so long, everybody.